OK, let's just sum that up from an England perspective. Well, you tell me, how do you sum that one up?
Yeah, another disappointing result for us. Can look back on moments in that game, and there's, you know, even a common theme with the first game. Games that have gone before the series where we are almost, when the game is on the line, teams are able to handle that pressure than us, better than us. Okay. We're a great team when we're ahead. When we're behind and we need to play a huge amount of catch-up, we're great. But when the moment of the game is on the line, we're not able to stand up to that pressure of what this is. And it's something that I think for me as a captain is starting to become quite obvious.
So you're saying it's more of a mental thing rather than anything?
Yeah, it is. It's a mentality, it's a mindset about how you take yourself out there in those situations. You know, Test cricket it has its own pressures anyway. And how you handle those moments, how you handle yourself in those moments, how you get yourself into a clear head, a clear space to make good decisions, that is so important to being successful at this level. And it's something that I think, you know, I will be having, you know, conversations around that. Won't be going into too much detail because I'm not going to stand here and say it live on TV. But yeah, look, we're 2-0 down. We've got 3 games left to do what we want to come here and do, and I'll be doing everything that I can to make sure that we are addressing the situation from myself with the team that I'm in charge of, and then when we do get to Melbourne, we'll be good.
In this game, Stokesy, what's the one big miss, do you think, when you look back on it as a whole over the course of 4 days? Is there one thing you can put your finger on?
I think a huge part of it was that we had to take 15 wickets. Can't drop catches. They always come back to bite you, and I think it definitely showed there. You know, if we were able to hold on to our chances, we you know, should have been batting last night. No one means to do that kind of stuff. No one means to drop catches. No one means to not bowl an area where you set plans to. But yeah, those kind of things just can't happen at this level. Look at the way that Australia caught today. You know, Steve Smith, me and Will Jacks batted for 3.5 hours together in an unbelievable catch, brought the game back in. Alex Carey, unbelievable behind the stumps again. You know, you look at those things and waver them up against what we were like in the field, massive difference. And yeah, first innings with the ball, we just couldn't execute what we needed to do for long enough. We were able to put the ball in an area 3 times, and then we let them off the hook. And you know, that happens as a bowler. Sometimes you don't know what it is. You're fighting yourself you almost start trying harder and harder and harder, and that's what I think it was. And I'll never be annoyed or frustrated or angry at my team for trying too hard, because that's what I asked them to do, was just to try and care with everything that they do. And if your execution doesn't come, then so be it. But as long as you're running in and you're giving your absolute all for the shirt, then what will be will be.
Stokesy, we know winning big series and big test matches, getting 400 first innings gives you a far better chance around scoring big runs. This batting unit, they're obviously going to have to go away, do some thinking. What do you think those conversations are going to be? How do you think you get them back to a place for Adelaide that they got a good chance of scoring 400 first innings?
I think, again, so I'll keep saying it's not a skill thing with this group, with the bat or the ball. Incredibly skilled and gifted players that we have here, who can win games with the bat and win games with the ball. My personal belief is that it's the mental side of those, of how we are handling those moments of pressure, and, you know, making sure that we are very, very clear in our head, and just understanding the moment a bit better.
What are the positives from this game? Because there are a few that I can think of. For you, looking forward, there are still 3 test matches to go. The series isn't lost, even though you're 2-0 down. What are the things that you can grab hold of and move forward through this series that are going to help you and the team feel positive?
Yeah, I think Ruti getting 100's a good start.
Well, yeah,
that was brilliant, that one. Yeah. That was the highlight.
And, you know, again, he's a great example for the group, I think, when it comes to that. You look at the scrutiny that he was under before he came out here. It's impossible to miss stuff like that. After the first game, first innings, you know, after that game in Perth, he came and sat next to me just as I got back from my press conference, and he sat next to me and he apologised to me, which I said, you don't need to ever do that. But he said, I'm going to get a big one next game for you. And that, to me, is just an incredible mindset and mentality that I think everyone in that dressing room can just ooze off. The belief he has in himself to go out and do that when he is under the most scrutiny that he probably ever will be in his career, to go and do what he did this week. I think a lot of guys, and myself included, can take a lot from that.
Stokesy, we were both in the dressing room in 2013-14. We actually had a chat about it the other day. What lessons can you learn from that series and make sure it doesn't happen again?
Don't panic. Don't flap. Don't waver. And just have complete and utter belief in our guys as a team, because I know we can do this. I believe emphatically in the group. I believe emphatically myself as a captain and as a leader that I can get the guys into a place where they need to be able to win these next 3 games. And yeah, that's it.
And finally, is that actually quite a good message to send out to the England fans? Because everybody is behind you and wants you to win this and do well in these games. So is that actually a really good message for them? And is there anything else that you'd sort of like to add to everyone supporting you?
Oh, look, wherever we go, these guys, know that the support we get wherever we go in the world is just incredible. That Army section down there, this whole week, just non-stop cheering. Even when, we go out there and, I even said in the team huddle, says, look, I'm not going to say the cliche thing, say you never know. The only thing I asked for was just to leave some marks on the Australian batting lineup while we can. And I think they really responded well to that, the Army. They've seen the fight that we kept on giving towards the end, even though it was inevitable. And that's something that I want to see from this group going forward. That is the benchmark of our attitude and our mentality that we take for the rest of these 3 games against Australia.
Lovely, Ben. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and speak to us. Really do appreciate it. And we will see you at the next one.
Thanks very much.
I'll let you go.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you.